Hi guys, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Barrett and I'm a yoga teacher here in London. And today's class is all about the core. And our core is so much more than this six-pack muscle at the front of our bodies, which often we think about when we say the word core. It's our strength, our willpower, our vitality. And when we feel strength and power from within, it has a knock-on effect through our lives. So it gives us better posture, less chance of pain, so things like back pain, because our core stabilizes our pelvis, which is so incredibly important. It helps things like digestion, and it also helps digest life experiences. It helps us feel strong from within. And so today we're going to optimize our personal power, and we're going to move from our center. So I want you to pay really close attention to the transitions around the mat. So the moments between the poses, how slowly can you move with control? You can imagine you're moving through something like honey or treacle, and you're really controlling everything from your center. And last thing before we start to move, or two more things before we start to move, when I talk about engaging the core, I want you to think about your core like a little bit like a diamond or a web. So I'm not just asking you to hug the navel in, because that's not going to bring everything together. That's not going to find the strength and kind of consolidate it together. I want you to think about the pelvic floor, because that's part of our deep core. So lifting the pelvic floor, a little bit like you're trying to stop yourself from passing urine or wind. So feeling that lift from within, energetically drawing the hip bones towards each other. Hugging that navel up and in, and drawing the ribs down. Don't let the ribs flare, because then we lose some stability and strength. And when we lose stability and strength, we get leaks. So energy starts to leak out the body, which is not what we want. So think about drawing everything in like a web. And also think about the glutes. I'm going to cue the glutes a lot today, because the glutes also help stabilize the pelvis and in a way are parts of our core. So we're going to come down onto your back. And the last thing I say before we start to move is please listen to your body. You know your body best. Yoga should never be painful. Modify this class as you need to, whether that's you dial it down because you're feeling like you need a little bit slower pace today, or whether you ramp it up because you need some more energy. This is your practice, guys. So bring one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Close the eyes. And let's simply start by taking 5 deep breaths together. So when you're ready, inhale, breathing into the belly, expanding through the chest all the way to the collarbones, and exhale. Big sigh out. Let it go. Deep breath in. And then let it go. Inhale. And release. Breathing in. And breathing out. Last time, biggest breath you've taken today. Breathing in. And then let it go. Before you open the eyes, bring the hands together, palms together over your heart, and you're going to start to rub the palms together. Bring some heat between the palms. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring that heat over your heart. Set an intention for your practice today. Or maybe dedicate your practice to someone that you love, someone who gives you strength. Blink the eyes open, maybe have a little smile. And we're gonna start straight in, and we're gonna start by firing up the back body, firing up the front body. So when we start to flow, we can move from this place of strength. So bringing your feet about a hand's distance from your body, hip width apart. Connect to the core, just like I said at the start. Connect to your glutes. You can even give them a little poke, check they're working. And as you exhale, lift up into your bridge. So this isn't a back bend as such. You're not opening the ribs. You're going to close those ribs. Keep everything strong and connected, holding here. And then you're going to start to pulse. So pulse from the glutes, just moving up and down an inch or so, keeping length and extension through the spine. So lengthen through the tailbone. And you're going to bring the arms straight up above you. And then you're going to take hold of those right fingers and pull them back. So stretching across the wrists. Because we're going to be on our hands a little bit today. Breathing here and keeping that connection to your strength, to your center. Switch hands, so your right hand pulls those left fingertips back. Keep pulsing. Hopefully you can feel the glutes firing, the back body firing, and you can really push down through your feet and slightly pull them towards you, and you should notice your hamstrings, so the backs of your thighs lighting up a little bit more. Deep breath in, and then breathing out. Stop pulsing, release the hands and actually bring them over your head. So stretching and creating a little bit more length through the back. Keep drawing the tailbone down. And then you're going to march the legs. So if this feels too much with the arms overhead, you can bring them down. But you're going to step the left knee up and then bring it down. And take it to the other side. And imagine you've got something balancing on your pelvis. So keep that nice neutral pelvis. And keep the core and glutes engaged. And slowly, as you breathe, move up, move down. Don't let the ribs flare, keep that control. We're going to do one more on each side, lifting up, controlling it down. Last time, lifting up and controlling it down. Slowly, bring the arms back and peel all the way down onto the mat. Leg drops, so lots of variations to do here, guys. You're going to start with your knees bent in a kind of reverse tabletop. Now you're going to have a gap between your back and the floor. That's fine. You just, as you move, don't let that gap overarch. So don't let your back overarch, because it means your core is starting to turn off. So you don't want to flatten it to the ground. You want to keep it nice and neutral, but make sure that gap stays the same level. As you exhale, first option, dip that right toe down and inhale, lift it up. Other side, exhale down, inhale up. As you can either continue like that or taking it a step further. You can exhale, drop your right heel down, extend the leg, and inhale, lift up. All the time, keeping that connection to your core, imagining it like a web, drawing into center. Everything's working together, keeping that energy from leaking out, from spilling out. And then if you want to take it on in even further, you can bring the legs straight up and drop them down one at a time. But what you want to do is have a little peek at your abdominal muscles. And if you see your abdominals doming, or you feel any pain, or you can't control there, then just take it down. And it can really change from one day to the next. So maybe one day you're feeling super strong and you can do it with straight legs, but the next day we just lose the connection to our core. It happens to everyone. It definitely happens to me. So just keep checking in. What is right for me today? Hopefully you're feeling this in both the hip flexors and the core. We're going to do 2 more on each side. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Last time, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, and inhale, lift it up. Give your knees a squeeze, hug them in. Then take your feet mat distance apart. Bring your hands, cactus them by your sides, opening through the chest. If this is too much, if you have quite a tight chest, you can bring a blanket or a block under the arms. And then you're going to take the knees over to the left. But you're going to activate here. So this right glute is on and you're stretching through this right hip flexor, pushing down through that inner arch of your right foot. Take a couple of breaths here. We're going to add on to the core. You're going to feel super fired before we move, guys. Inhale brings it back to center, and exhale, take it to the other side. Squeezing into that left glute, breathing into that left front hip. And inhale, brings you back to center. So abdominals number 2. Now, 2 options. You can bring the legs up like this, or you can bring them straight above you. You're going to bring your hands, basket your hands around your head. Connect to your center. Inhale, your elbows pull in. Exhale, you lift. You can even gaze down towards the pelvic region and feel the fire. Like, put your brain into your core. Get it to work. It's called brain mapping and it really works. Inhale, release. Again, we're going to add on. Exhale, you lift. This time your right leg comes down about 30 degrees down from the left. Hold it here. Breathe here. Inhale, back to center. And release. Exhale, you lift. Draw everything in. Ribs down, pelvic floor lift, hip bones towards each other. Collect it in. Length through the tailbone. Inhale. Back to center. Release. Again, adding on. Exhale, you lift. Your right leg comes down. You twist over towards the left.
So just a couple of inches, keep lifting off the left shoulder blade, drawing the belly in, holding here, lifting here. Inhale back to center, release. Hopefully you're definitely feeling this. Inhale and then exhale, you lift, draw up, your left leg comes down, you twist to the right, keep drawing off that right shoulder blade, everything collecting together, length through the tailbone, hug the sit bones towards each other. Then inhale, back to center, release. We're doing this one more time, guys, one more add-on. Remember, you can stay at any of the beginning levels. Find what works for you. But this is involving the whole of the core. With this twist, we're involving our obliques as well. The muscles that run underneath, below the ribs. So inhale, lift up, extend the right leg, twist to your right, left, and reach the right arm across. You can even reach the left arm across, grab the wrist and pull away, collecting the core together, breathing here, holding here. And then inhale, back to center, hands behind head. Release. Exhale, you lift, other side, left leg comes down, twist to the right, reach the left arm across, the right arm across, left hand grabs the right wrist, you pull. Collect together, lift, sit bones towards each other. Inhale, release. Stretch your arms and legs in opposite directions. I'm sure you're feeling this now, guys. And now we're going to move. So you're going to bring your hands behind your legs. You can either roll onto one side and come up into downward facing dog, or you're going to take some rock and rolls forwards and back until you come all the way up, crossing the legs and stepping downward facing dog. So do what you need to do here. Pedal the feet, swing the hips, find some movement. And then when you're ready, find some stillness and find your strength. So spread the fingers, push the hands into the mat, dial the hands out. And what this does is it externally rotates the upper arms, broadening across the shoulders, strengthening, stabilizing the shoulders. Lift the hips high. If you need a bend in the knees, that's fine. And keep that connection to the core. So lift those front ribs into the back body. Feel super strong. And your legs are energized. Lift the kneecaps or the backs of the thighs towards the back of the room. Feeling strong? Yes. Inhale, tiptoe your feet one by one, all the way to the front of the mat. So exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, fingertips rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let it go through the mouth. We're going to do one Surya Namaskar A, one Sun Salutation A. So inhale, reach the fingers high, lift up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, bending the knees as much as you need, bring the hands down. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale, plant the hands, step back plank pose. Hold it here. Now kind of imagine your plank pose like Tadasana, like you're standing. So your spine is neutral. You want to hug your scapula into your back ribs, so your shoulder blades into your back ribs. Dial the hands out. Core is on, glutes are on. Imagine you're hugging an imaginary block between your thighs. Drop the knees, chest, chin, shoulder tips stay lifted. Inhale, pull back, glutes on, cobra. Exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Straight away, exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Inhale, step or jump to the front of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up, sweeping into your chair, squeezing the knees together, connect to the core. Don't let the ribs pop, draw them down, length through the tailbone. From here, sit down a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower until you're hovering just above the floor. And then see if you can sit down without using the hands, lifting up Navasana, boat pose. So your hands can take hold of the thighs, extending through the spine, maybe bringing the hands alongside your body. Connect to the core. We've fired it up. You can feel it. Feel that fire inside your belly helping you. Holding for 3. Your legs can always straighten. 2 and 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Maybe using a little bit of momentum if you need to. See if you can sit back, chair pose. Try not to use your hands. You can always cross your feet. That can be another way of getting up. Like teaching ourselves to get off the floor without using our hands is so beneficial. In a way, it's so much more beneficial than being able to do the splits and these crazy poses, to simply getting off the floor without using our hands. Exhale, fold, hands to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, coming back to your plank pose. Again, always the option to drop the knees, dial the hands out, turn the glutes on, lower. This time maybe in one piece, full chaturanga. Inhale, open through the heart, squeeze those glutes, and exhale, hips to the sky. Inhale, your right leg lifts. Use that glute, recruit the glute. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, twist. Extend that right leg, bring it down to the left side of the mat, and you're coming on to the sole of that left foot. Reaching the left fingertips up, fallen triangle. If you want to add on, you can try and lift this right leg high to the sky. Breathing here for 3. Ground down through that right hand, stabilize the shoulder. 2 and 1. Your left hand comes down, inhale, your right leg back. 3-legged dog. As you exhale, bring the right foot to the front of the mat and step it forward. Bring the right fingertips up, your left hand by that right foot, coming into a twist. Squeeze the glutes, hug the core in and slightly pull back on that left hand to stabilize the shoulder and set that shoulder blade onto your ribs. Then gaze down and slowly coming onto the knife edge of your left foot, can you step into side plank? Options here, you can bring that left knee down and modify, lifting up here. Or you can even lift this right leg up to the sky, making it that little bit harder. Wherever you are, holding here, breathing here, connect to your center. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go towards half moon now. So connect to your core and you're going to look where you're going. So your right foot is going to the front of your mat. See if you can lift it up. You can grab the knee if you want to and see if you can step it to the front of your mat without using your hands. So your right hand comes down. If you have a block, you can grab a block if you need it. And you're going to lift up, half moon pose. Flexing into that left foot, opening the body out to the left hand side, stacking the shoulders, and finding length in your side body. And connecting to the core. Keep that strength, keep that connection. From here, we're going to take it into warrior 2. Remember how I said think about slowing down your transitions? Imagine you're moving through honey. So slowly start to hover those right fingers off the mat and exhale, bend into the right knee, coming down, warrior 2. I'm going to be honest, that doesn't always work. Sometimes I do come down like a bit like a sack, so in my mind I was like, please let this work. It did work. So just know, if you don't have the balance today, that's fine. Just have a smile and keep going. So take a deep breath here, extend through the sideways, extend through the torso, extend through the crown of the head. Inhale, flip the front palm, bring your left hand onto your belly, your right arm goes overhead. So with your hand, imagine you're condensing all this core together, drawing the hip bones towards each other, keeping that length through the side body. As you exhale, your right hand comes onto your belly, doing exactly the same thing. Left arm comes overhead. Ground down through the feet, turn on those glutes. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, breathe the right arm over, and exhale, left arm comes overhead, right hand draws the belly in. Breathing here, either keeping the hand on the belly or maybe reaching that right arm. Imagine you're holding onto an imaginary beach ball. Breathing here for 3, for 2, and 1. Your hands come down to the mat. Inside that right foot, coming onto the back toes. Take that right foot over to the right hand side. Come down onto that back knee. Inhale, breathe the chest forward, and exhale, round through the back. A little modified lizard pose here. Now come back to neutral, and either staying on your hands or taking your lizard wherever you want to. So different options, you can tuck the toes, lift that back knee, you could come onto your forearms, whatever feels right for you. You can kind of open into that right hip as well. And you can bring a little bit of movement. I love moving in my lizard pose, just taking a little bit of a sway from side to side. And I want you to close your eyes and focus on the breath. Can you slow it down that little bit more? Can you slow down the heart rate? And then slowly start to bring yourself. Let's all come back up onto our hands so we're in the same place. And
We're heading towards Dolphin Pose. So you're going to tuck your back toes and step your right foot back. As you step your right foot back, see if you can lower onto your forearms at the same time. If you need to do it one at a time, that's fine, but see if you can challenge yourself and step back and forearms come down. So your forearms can either be parallel in Dolphin, or you can clasp the hands together and find a little bit more space through the shoulders. Walk the toes in, pike the hips up, puff up through the back of the chest, connect to the core and breathe here. You can lift your right leg if you want an additional challenge. Breathing here for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring the toes down, walk the feet back, maybe walk the hands forward, coming into forearm plank. Holding here for a count of 3. Glutes on, core on, 2, and 1. Your hips come down, Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath shoulders, pull back through the hand, pull the heart through the hands, breathe here. Your glutes are wrapping down. Your core is staying connected. So often I kind of reword back bending poses, and instead of thinking about back bending, thinking about creating space through the spine and opening through the front body. Keeping the pelvis neutral, so we want our glutes to be working and we want our core to be working. So exhale, folding down to the floor. Now challenge, see if you can bring your hand onto your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through the kneecaps, connect to the core, lift the shoulder tips, and see if you can lift back through plank pose, downward facing dog. So we're gonna come, actually no, inhale, lift your right leg high and step the right foot to the front of the mat. Coming into a side squat, so sit your hips back, your right toes at 45 degrees, and send those left toes up towards the ceiling, flexing through the foot. And then as you exhale, take it to the other side. So bending into the left knee, sending the right toes up. Feeling some strength here, so you feel a lift in the pelvic floor, really engaging the glutes. And then you're gonna swivel round, plant your hands to the back of the mat, and step back, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, your left leg rises. Breathe the leg up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Extend the leg out, lift the right fingertips high, fallen triangle. So feel a lift from your underside, so lifting the hips up. And again, maybe seeing if you can lift that left leg up to the sky. Breathing here, 3, 2, and 1. Left leg comes up, right hand comes down, 3-legged dog. Take a moment here. And as you exhale, step your left foot to the front of the mat. Your right hand comes down next to it. Glutes are on, lengthen through the side waist and breathe the left fingertips up. So set that right shoulder blade onto the ribs and then slightly lean back into it, really feeling a nice opening through the heart. As you exhale, gaze down to the hand and start to swivel onto the outer edge of the right foot. How slowly can you step that left foot back to meet it? Side plank. The body is strong, the body is engaged. Remember, you can drop that bottom knee. Breathe here, feel the strength. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to step the foot to the front of the mat, coming back towards our half moon. How slowly can you do it? Again, you can grab this knee to help you. Step it all the way forward with strength, with control. Left hand comes down, right arm shoots up, flexing that bottom foot and breathing the body open to the side. Think about creating that length through the torso, and do grab a block or some kind of prop if you need some more space here. Holding here, breathing here. And remembering from here, we're going to go into our warrior 2. So how slowly can you step into your warrior 2? Lift up through the side ribs. Engage to the floor. So that sounds weird. Set your foundations. Push into the feet. Lift through the arches. And feel how that energy comes up through the legs, into the glutes, into the core, through the crown of your head. Your right hand comes onto your belly, your left arm goes up and over, reverse. Exhale, left hand to belly, right arm comes over, side angle variation. And one more time, inhale, breathe the left arm over. Exhale, legs stay strong, right arm comes over, hold here.
Either stay here or maybe lifting that left arm, keeping the body open to the side, spiraling the heart up, holding here for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly pivoting onto the right toes, bring the hands down, take that left foot to the side of the mat, and for a moment come down onto the knee. Inhale, arch the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, round through the back, push the ground away. And then come back to neutral, either staying here or taking a variation, again, maybe tucking the toes or coming onto the forearms. Keep the glutes active, so you're really breathing into that right hip flexor, opening through the hip. We have muscles that work together, and when the glutes are activated, it helps lengthen the hip flexors even more. It's called reciprocal inhibition. Our body is really clever. So taking another breath or 2 here. And then everyone is going to drop onto their hands or come up onto their hands. Tuck the back toes, lifting the knee, and we're going back to dolphin. So step back, forearms come down to the ground, and you can bring the hands together if that feels better, hopping the foot forward, either just taking dolphin both feet down or lifting that left leg high. If your leg is lifted high, keep the pelvis nice and neutral, because if you open, you can get the leg up more, but you neutralize the pelvis. Get all those muscles working that we've been talking about throughout the class. Holding here for 3, for 2, and 1. Dropping the foot down, walking the feet back, maybe walking the arms forward a little bit, forearm plank, holding for 3. Spine neutral, neck neutral, 2, and 1. Hips come down. Taking a sphinx again, or maybe lifting the elbows, coming into seal pose. Wrap the glutes down, turn the core on, and have a feeling of dragging the hands back so you're opening through the heart even more. Exhale, slowly bring the forearms down. And we're going to come towards the end of practice, but we're going to do one more little challenge now. Baby crow pose. And this one can be the least intimidating. In a way, I find it harder than crow pose because I think it takes a little bit more strength personally. But because you're closer to the ground, your face is going to be really close to the ground, it can be less scary. Because one of the main things to stop people doing crow pose is the fear of falling. So what you could do now is grab a pillow if you want something, or a blanket to place underneath you so you feel really safe. And you're going to bring your forearms so they're flat onto the mat. You're going to puff up through that back of the body. So you're pulling the shoulder blades away from your spine, protracting the shoulder blades. That's what it's called. Find that connection to your core that we've been having. And you're going to step onto your tippy toes. So your knees are really close to your armpits, or as close as you can get them. Try and keep your neck neutral and remember to breathe. So don't look down, look kind of forward. Lift the hips really high, and as you exhale, see if you can lift one foot and then the other. Keep pushing into the floor, connect to the pelvic floor, connect to the deep core muscles. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the toes down, knees together, and roll in. Child's pose. Deep breath in and long breath out. One more time, just like that. Breathe into those back ribs and release. So we're just going to take a little gentle stretch before ending today. You're going to come up to seat and let's bring the left leg up first, bending into the right leg, bringing the foot into the thigh. And you're going to bring your left arm down inside that leg and reach the right arm over. So the aim is not to grab the foot, it's to reach and stretch through that side body. So breathing into that side waist, opening out. You feel a great stretch all the way from your hip out through your fingertips. Breathing in and breathing out. And then as you inhale, come all the way up, plant that right hand behind you and lift up to a kind of modified world thing. Squeezing through the hips, breathing the chest up. And as you exhale, sit the hips down and step your left foot over your right thigh. If this feels too much, your right foot is by your left hip, you can extend this right leg, so have it straight.
You can take a really gentle twist here. So hug the left foot knee with your right arm. Extend. So find that actual extension through the spine. Create that space. And then take a gentle rotation, a gentle twist. Don't crank yourself into it. Breathe into the hips. Breathe into the spine. Fill your body with your breath. Exhale. We're going to try and do this in reverse. So you're going to take a little counter twist and then you're going to walk your way all the way around. And you should end up the opposite side. So your right leg is over your left thigh, your left foot's by your right hip. If you're not there now, just do a little switch. We'll meet there. And again, you can stretch this left leg out straight if you wish. And so let's start this time with the twist. You're going to hug your right leg with your left arm. And you're going to find that extension through the spine and take a twist towards the right. Keep breathing and extending through the spine. And then inhale brings you back through center. Take a little counter twist. And then extend through that right leg. So the right leg is straight this time, left foot in towards the hip, in towards the thigh even. And bring your right arm down. Extend open through the hip, through the shoulder. And bring those left fingertips all the way over, reaching towards the toe. If you're all the way up here, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Close your eyes. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Notice how it feels. Connect to how it feels in your body. And energize through that right leg. Flex the foot. Engage the muscles. Inhale brings you up. Plant the left hand. Sweep the right arm up and over. Breathing the body open one last time. And then exhale. Brings you down. And you're going to... Let's do one last test on the core actually. Let's come straight into Shavasana because we've done our twists and we've done a little wind down now. So bringing your feet together, straight through the legs. See if we can come down to a really slow count of 5. So you're going to really connect to the core, draw everything in, round through the back and imagine coming down vertebrae by vertebrae. So lowering slowly to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give your legs a massive squeeze. Deep breath in. And exhale. Let it go. Bring the feet so they're mat distance apart. Bring the hands alongside your body, fingers curling in naturally. And take a massive breath in. And a long breath out. And now, don't change the breath in any way, simply be its witness. Notice the different parts of your body that move as you breathe. Notice the sensations of your breath on your skin. Notice how each breath looks that little bit different. To reclaim power in our life, we need to redefine it. Power that lifts us out of the struggle and into transformation, out of the past and into the future. One that inspires, strengthens, and empowers individuals without diminishing others. Power isn't created from staying safe. Power comes from the willingness to leave the world of safety and move forward into the unknown. As we meet challenge, it strengthens us by forcing us to grow. Power, like a muscle, will not increase by doing nothing. Now you can always pause the video and spend as long as you have here in Shavasana. But if you're ready, start to bring some movement back into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Inhale, stretch the arms over your head, stretch your toes away from you. As you exhale, hug your knees into your chest. And gently rolling onto the right side, take a moment before coming up to any comfortable seat. And you're going to bring your left hand flat on your heart and your right hand flat on top of that. I'm going to end you with a sweet quote, and funnily enough, from the Wizard of Oz. and repeat this to yourself. You've always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it for yourself. So ending together with one massive breath, breathing in and letting go. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed our flow. Any questions, please always know. You can find me at Hannah Barrett Yoga. Send me a message and I will come back to you. Thank you so much.
If you like that video, there are loads more talks, classes and exclusive videos from the Happy Place Virtual Festival. So don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Do follow us on Instagram for constant updates and enjoy.